with all this anime to watch, I'm having to spend enough time away from both Final Fantasy XIV and Final Fantasy VII to review them all. So I hope you're enjoying this, as I try and record these videos as quick as possible to get back to my 2 Final Fantasy games. But what anime am I going to be looking at today? Well, the 4 new shows, which are in the thumbnail, of course. If you look at the thumbnail, you can probably tell what 4 shows they are. But what did I think of them? But let me know in the comments if you have any ideas what I think, or if you've got feelings about these shows yourself, let me know. And join me, because this is a 2024 spring anime preview from a different perspective. A Condition Called Love is a very classical shoujo anime love story. An ever-growing trend these days of shoujo love stories where the main heroine is a cute, timid girl, kind of mousy, with big, thick eyelashes. Not that I care, because Hotaru is very, very cute in this one. And her love interest this time is the supposed pretty boy playboy Saki Hananoi, who we are first introduced to getting a drink thrown all over him, as he breaks the heart of another girl who is interested in him. Of course, Hotaru wants nothing to do with him. In fact, she says has no idea what love is whatsoever. This is going to be very much a case of mousy girl finds love for the first time with everybody's idol in school, and all the pain and suffering which comes because of it. We've definitely seen this anime before. It's an all too common trope. But one thing which stood out to me was just how pushy Hananoi is about getting Hotaru interested in him. He initially approaches her because she holds an umbrella over his head when it's snowing, when he's depressed over getting drink thrown all over him. That act of kindness sort of resonates with Hananoi, and he asks her out, and she says no. She's got no interest in romance, she has no idea why he's interested in her anyway, so she's got no interest in any of this nonsense. That just makes Hananoi all the more interested in pursuing her, and pursue her he does, as the first episode feels almost too pushy. No matter what Hotaru does, Hananoi is around the corner ready to pounce. Not in an aggressive way, but as a pushy, I want to be part of your world way. At the end of it, of course, they do end up hugging, and I think Hotaru does like Hananoi as well, just doesn't really know it yet. Where this one goes, it could go in one of multiple directions. It could just become a traditional shy girl gets popular for the first time in her life and experiences love, or it could go in a really nasty direction, being toxic and creepy. I'm hoping it's not the latter, but something about Saki Hananoi just rubs me the wrong way. I don't like him as a character. Maybe that's what I'm meant to think. If you want to judge him for yourself, you can find it on Crunchyroll. Next up today, we've got an anime with a title which would really put you off if you're not knowing what you're looking for. An Archdemon Dilemma, How to Love Your Elf Bride. And gotta be nice, it's not just the title which must put you off. The artwork is also very much unappealing to people who are tired of a certain trope getting into anime, as a rather demonic looking normal guy is hugging a beautiful silver-haired elf with a slave collar on. Yep, at first glance this one looks to me very much a power fantasy. Normal guy gets his power fantasy of having an elf slave to be his wife and lover. However, I'm here to tell you that's not the case. Now, this is one I've actually got previous experience of. I've been reading the manga. It was free on J-Novel, so I decided to try it out, and I did quite like it. And I was a bit worried initially it would be power trippy, but it really isn't. Our main character, Zagan, is a powerful sorcerer, an archdemon apparently, who, despite being a sorcerer and being very powerful, he is very much not your traditional sorcerer. He wants power, but just because it's something he can do. He grew up an orphan, and so he doesn't really want power to be powerful, he just wants power because it's there. And so one day, his very, very creepy friend Barbaros invites him to go join an auction selling the goods of the now dead archdemon Marcosius. Now, we don't get to see exactly what's sold because they only really show one lot, and that's the final lot of a night. A white-haired elvish slave girl. Now, white-haired elves are very rare and valuable. A high-priced commodity in experimentation, something which sorcerers really love doing. But Zagan does not see it that way. He sees the elf girl and thinks, she's beautiful, I want her. And so he immediately says, 1,000,000 credits, 1,000,000 gold, I'll have her. Nobody else outbids him, and so he's now the owner of an elf slave called Nephilia. And not knowing what to do with her, he's now in an awkward position. He's the owner of a beautiful slave girl who he does not know what to do with. See, he's not just socially awkward, he's also sexually awkward as well. He's got no idea how to portray his feelings, but he doesn't go in the weird anime trope of being all aggressive about it. He's just bashful and shy and awkward. Of course, Nephilia doesn't know what's going on at all. She just thinks he wants to use her up as a slave or as an experimentation to torture her. She thinks he's being a bit mean or a bit aggressive. He shows her powerful magic as he tries to clear a room for her, which was previously full of all torture devices. Doesn't want her sleeping in a torture chamber after all. But she's really scared of his powerful magic. It was going to be an anime which lives and dies based on how much you like the characters. For me, Nephi and Zagan are an adorable couple. Nephi is sweet, but also kind of shy, whereas Zagan is just adorably dorky and really socially awkward. There's not a mean bone in his body. And so if you think this is a power trip fantasy, there's another thing coming. Either one will definitely be keeping an eye on this one, I'll be watching it. I know some people will be turned off by the entire premise of a slave girl, but she's not treated as such. Not by Zagan anyway. And there doesn't appear to be anything nasty about it either. If you want to watch an Archdemon Dilemma, How to Love Your Elf Bride, you can find it on Crunchyroll. Going into this season, I had a salad bowl of Eccentrics down as an interesting looking show. I didn't know anything about it, but it's one which I probably was going to like. Had I looked more into a tale, I probably would have known I would love it, and I would have followed it immensely and been super hyped for watching it, as it's from the author Yumi Hibasaka, and the light novel's character designer and artist is that of Kantaku, who does absolutely fantastic artwork in the previous Yumi Hibasaka series which got an anime. A Sister's All You Need. Yep, the anime with a very awkward sounding name which people steered clear of because of the title and the first 5 minutes, is back with an absolutely fantastic premise of a reverse isekai where girls from another world are transported into our world and craziness happens. We don't know what sort of craziness so far, we've only really met a bunch of characters, but the humour's there again, same sort of humour we got in A Sister's All You Need, and of course Hirosaka's previous work, Hananoi. The private detective Sosuke Kabuaya is the host of Sarah de Odin, a beautiful princess who's escaping for some reason at the start of the episode. She leaps into the unknown, is transported to our world, and lands slap bang on top of Sosuke, just as he's tailing some loser who's possibly cheating with his wife. Spoiler alert, he's not. He's got some more stuff going on which is sold later on in the episode. Later on we meet Livia, who is the knight who was with Sarah at the start of the anime, and she ends up also living with somebody else. I say living, not exactly living in a home. She becomes homeless with another homeless guy under a bridge. Livia being the beautiful, busty, silver-haired maiden, which must be present in all of Yumi Hirosaka's series, especially when animated and drawn by Kantaku, who draws the best silver-haired characters there are. Where this anime goes next, I couldn't really tell you, but I've got confidence it's going to be fun and silly, but with a sort of hint of realism and normalcy to it, despite the crazy premise. Given the author, I've got full confidence I'm going to love this one, and even more confidence I'm going to recommend it to you guys. If you do want to watch this salad bowl of Eccentrics, you can find them on Crunchyroll. Finally today, we get to blow some hot air as we enter a world of Windbreaker, an anime about a guy who has the worst wind possible. I mean, the entire anime stinks. Although that's also a euphemism, it's also really, really untrue, because, I'll be honest, the first episode kind of appealed to me. But it's definitely not an anime which will make us stink, as our main two-tone character, Haruka, is about to start a new school. The new school he's going to be attending is Furin High School, a school of dropouts and degenerates who rule the roost. If you think from Marty High School, you've basically got the right idea. This is a school of weirdos who like fighting, like being delinquents, and that's about it. But there's something special about this school, as even though they're all delinquents, they do protect their community. They've got their hearts in the right place. And as Haruka finds out, they are heavily protecting the local area, protecting the shopping arcade nearby, and everybody loves them. Most notably because they made the area much safer despite being thuggish delinquents with attitude problems. Now, to be honest, this is not an anime for me. I'm not a big fight anime fan. But I could tell watching the first episode, it's animated well. The fight scene was very fluid and was a pretty decent fist fight. The characters all seem to have decent personalities, even though Haruka was very much up himself and full of hot air. But I figured I'd stop all the farting puns. I mean, who on earth named that anime Windbreaker? The title just stinks. If you want to watch this anime which is not a load of farts, you can find it airing over at Crunchyroll. That was A Condition Called Love, an Archdemon's Dilemma, How to Love Your Elf Bride, a salad bowl of Eccentrics, and Windbreaker. A veritable word soup of anime titles, some of which were good, some of which were much better than good. But let me know what you think in the comments. Join me again next time and look at 4 more new shows. Until then, bye bye.